big yellow machines with the diggers.
Yeah.
Caterpillar is
All
a
sorts of
global
things.
leader in capital equipment and is headquartered in Illinois.
Peoria, that's the name of the little town in Illinois where they manufacture the stuff. But the reason we put this one up front is just to give you a sense of how big this grouping is, what the largest company probably in the world in this space is, although there are others like General Electric and so on. This is kind of like the global leader. It's US based, but it's an international company manufacturing all of the stuff we've been
So
talking
market
about.
cap, let's move on to that. 41.3 billion US dollars, dividend yield of 4.3%, price to earnings ratio of 34. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't know what that yellow machine with a digger on the end
It's quite
stands
interesting.
for.
In history, there used to be a company called Holt Tractors, and they had problems getting their tractors through muddy fields with wheels on, so they invented the track. And when the first time they saw it, one of the executives said, looks like a caterpillar going over the field, and they patented the name, and that's why they changed the name from Holt to Caterpillar. I mean, useless information. But look, their last quarterly results were quite poor. They just once again restructuring, tough economic times. But when you read their 2016 outlook, they say there is a little bit of life coming back into the commodity market. China's looking a little bit better. They have slashed costs. They've got their manufacturing costs. They actually manufacture throughout virtually the whole of the US. They've got different depots all over the place, and they build engines in the one part and chassis in the one part, and they ship them all around the place. Strong dollar's killing them as well with exports. I mean, that certainly doesn't help. But once again, you know, they state specifically the energy sector, the mining sector. These are the tough sectors that they look. They're in everything. They're in marine. They're all over the place. But obviously, these are the sectors where they're suffering the most, and they're probably the most exposed to those sectors as well.
Well, unless you believe the end of the world is coming, we will see a recovery.
Sure.
In our lifetime.
And these guys are perfectly positioned. They're very good operators, as Wayne said, and they do a lot of work on making sure that, you know, theirs is the best product. They say, in fact, that their stuff is cheaper than all the competition. Not to buy, but if you take in the cost of how long it's going to last and how many shifts and how many loads you can get out of the particular machine. Let's have a look at the share chart,
Yes,
though,
let's
because
do that.
it's a pity, in fact, we don't have a 10-year chart, because what 10-year chart will reveal is a very strong move from like 2005, 6, 7, 8, as the global economic boom and all the infrastructure spending and the mining boom was happening. And then it does quite well, even after the global crisis, right up to about 2011. That's the all-time high there of about 120.
So what, in 2012?
Yeah.
Just beginning of
2011,
And then it
2012.
sort of tails off since then. So it's not
Oh,
really...
they had a very good performance in 2014.
If you bought them in the year 1999, you're still up, is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. But if you bought them any time in the last while, you're sort of drifting around a bit, hoping that better times lie ahead.
But look,
Do
really,
better times lie ahead?
I think they actually do. Personally, that's my view. I think the resource cycle, the worst is behind us. Now, you can see on the share price there that has picked up in the last 4 months, virtually identical to a lot of our resource companies, a lot of the oil companies have all done the same thing on the back of higher commodity prices. But as I mentioned earlier on, they're relatively optimistic. They're seeing green shoots. They've got a better order book, etc. But look, if you buy this, you're taking a punt on the resource
I
cycle
haven't
at
heard
the end of
the
the day.
green shoots
For
for
a long
some time. Are we coming back into green shoot territory?
Well, that's what they say.
Hot or not on Caterpillar, Paul?
You know, I am of the view that we are still really more or less in an environment where demand for commodities is a bit muted, where supply remains oversupplied. So I'm not really all that taken by the recovery in commodity prices, and I really do think that the delays in capex spending are going to be with us for a while. So no.
That's a long-winded
Not hot.
response to my hot or not, hot or not.
No, look, I'll wait a while on this. Even though I think we're turning the cycle, all of this, I've also learned in investments, when you spot something that just looks like a sure bet, you're probably right, but only in a year's time. So I'll sit back on this.